The sick cows came up out of the same river as the fat cows were. Evidently, they wasn't doing what they were supposed to be doing, or they'd have been fat like the other ones. They skinny and sick for a reason. You can't always go back there and try to help somebody that's in this situation because of their own faults. Right. Because while you trying to rescue a drowning, fighting man who can't swim, he'll drown you too.
Come on now.
Come on, can we be real up in here? You jumping out the boat with your life jacket on, going to help somebody drowning, and they can't swim and they way bigger than you, and y'all both end up drowning. How many times have it happened?
Come on.
Can't help everybody. Some people are in that situation for a reason.
All right.
Some people are that way because God has them that way. All right. God had those cows come up out the river, sick and lean, because he wanted them to eat up the good ones. Because it was all in his plan. And then came the corn. And the fresh corn was growing up green and pretty. And then the old dried up corn, it ate up the good corn. And you ask yourself, now these dreams had a reason. Because everything happened for a reason. And the good corn could have ate up the nutrient in the ground. And I mean, the ranch sick corn could have ate up the nutrients in the ground and drunk up the water from the rain that was falling. But the ratchet sick corn chose to eat on what was good. Its own kind. It's like family eating up family. Cows could have ate the grass, but they chose to eat the other cows. 'Cause sometimes it's just like that. People's hearts become so ratchet. So they don't want to make it on their own. They want to make it on what you got.
Come on.
They don't want to get out there and get it on their own. They want to take what you got. Because they ratchet is the corn, who devour on the goodness and the prosperity of the good corn. Somebody say, don't eat my corn.
Don't eat my corn.
Joseph dreamed a dream way back then that his sheaves, they were binding sheaves in the field. The Bible didn't say what they were binding. All we know that it was some kind of grain. But he was binding, him and his brothers were binding grain in the field. And his brothers' bundles of grain began to bow down to his bundle of grain. Watch this. That was Joseph's dream. Foggy, he didn't quite understand it. If he would have, he wouldn't have had so much trouble along the way to the destiny. He knew parts, and God gives us parts and bits and pieces and visions and dreams. We don't get the whole story all the time. Sometimes, but most of the time, we get parts. And Joseph had this dream of grain bundled up, and his brother's grain bowing down to his. But then God began to orchestrate his dream and began to line up his destiny. And when it was his time to shine, and it was his time to rise up out of the dungeon, and it was his time to go from the prison to the palace, God let the baker have a dream.
Come on.
The baker had a dream. Why it couldn't have been the shoe shine boy had a dream? Why it couldn't have been the chariot people had a dream? Why it couldn't have been the soldier or Potiphar had a dream? Why it had to be the baker had a dream? Because Joseph had a dream about some grain.
Come on.
And now God had to let him know this is not just a dream, boy, it's lining up with your dream. You dreamed about grain, but I'm telling you now, it's bread.
Come on, come on, come on.
And here's the baker's dream lined up with Joseph. God will put people in your life whose dream will line up with your dream. You can't be brushing it off like it don't matter. It does matter.
Hallelujah.
It does matter. Check this out though. Joseph had a dream of bundles of grain being bundled, and the other people's grain bowing down to his grain. And then the baker had a dream of baskets on his head, and the baskets full of bread. and all manner of bakelets of bread. Joseph had a dream of the grain, which we see now manifested as bread. But check out God. He is specific. I'm telling you, God don't leave you in the dark.
Come on.
Somebody said, God don't leave me in the dark.
God, don't leave me in the dark.
Check out Pharaoh had a dream too. And Pharaoh's dream was some corn, y'all.
Come on. Come on.
You don't even. See, Joseph had a dream about some grain, but we don't know what kind of grain till we got to the baker. And once we got to the baker, and the baker had a dream, the baker had a dream that this grain was some bread. And now we know that it's bread. Pharaoh has a dream about some corn. So now we know it's cornbread, baby. God is specific in what he do.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
God is so meticulous in the things that he's doing in your life. If you just follow the path, follow the steps, you're going to see that all things are working for your good. Y'all know I can't sing.
Preach.
And when Joseph realized that it was his time, he quit whining, y'all. He quit expecting the butler to remember him. After 2 full years, somebody say after 2 full years.
After 2 full years.
Joseph finally calmed down and said, Lord, whatever you want, whenever you want, okay, I'm here. When Joseph finally gave up, quit expecting folks to do this for him and quit expecting things to go the way he think it's supposed to go. When he finally just bowed down and say, okay, Lord, I done been through a lot. And most of it because I keep fighting it. If I just ran away from home, my brother wouldn't have threw me in the pit and I wouldn't have got sold into slavery. If I just shut up my mouth and did my work, quit trying to look all fine and sexy, Potiphar's wife wouldn't have been after me. But I want to exercise and work out. If I'd have just gone and been indiscreet, all this wouldn't have happened. But when it's your time to shine, none of that even matters. All of it was working for your good. Because after 2 full years, Pharaoh had a dream. And he called his boys, y'all come tell me. I had a dream and I don't know what's going on with this dream. I don't understand it. And he explained to his magicians and his sorcerers what his dream was, but none of them understood because they don't know the God of the universe who gives dreams in man's minds.
Come on. Come on.
But it was then, when they couldn't figure it out, that God touched the butler's heart. Say, hold up, I've done wrong. I've done wrong, King, I've done wrong. What you mean you done wrong? There is a man down in your jail. He can interpret your dream for you. And he like, what you talking about? You remember when you got mad at us when, them boys that did that thing and I was trying to, explain how, and you wasn't trying to hear it and since I was supposed to be over them, I got kicked into jail. You remember when you threw us into the dungeon? Felt like, yeah, y'all had me worked up that day. Old dry beer and old bitter grapes. I almost threw that glass at you, boy. But yeah, while I was down there in the dungeon, Your Honor, I had a dream one night. And the baker had a dream too the same night. Both of us had a dream on the same night. And he dreamed about bread and I dreamed about wine. And we woke up, we were so discouraged and sad because we didn't know what the dream meant, but we knew it was important. It was something special about the dream. And while we were sitting there sad, they had this little Hebrew boy. Somebody say, oh, unknown nobody.
Oh, no.
About to become somebody.
About to become some.
You might be a old little bitty unknown somebody. But God can take you and make you a somebody.
Yes.
He said there's a Hebrew slave. The God of your slave, y'all. There's a Hebrew slave who Potiphar owned down there in the dungeon. He was telling us, how he was stolen from, his home in Israel. And He got thrown in the dungeon for some foolishness with Potiphar's wife, and we had a dream, and he was able to tell us what our dream meant. The Pharaoh said, "You kidding me? A Hebrew? Yeah. What his name?" Say his name was Joseph. He said that you was going to lift us up out of the dungeon, and I was going to be giving my job back, and I would hand the cup back into your hand, Pharaoh. And just like he said, 3 days later, you brought me back. And I've been here ever since, 2 full years. And he said, the baker, you was going to hang him, cut him, hang him from a tree, and the birds were going to eat his skin. And just like Joseph said, that's what you did. And Pharaoh said, "What? Is he still down there?" He said, "I think so. I was supposed to tell you about him 2 years ago. 2 years ago. Somebody was supposed to come through for you 2 years ago. They had your answer waiting 2 years ago. God answered your prayer 2 years ago. But the devil got busy, and the devil held up in the heavens, held your answer up 2 years ago. When your answer was about to come, the devil came on the side and sidetracked it 2 years ago. You was right at the brink of a breakthrough, and that old, what you call him, come around and took you off your game 2 years ago. God had your answer in the palm of his hand, reaching it out, but you didn't want to be bothered 2 years ago. It was right there. It was there all the time. It was there all the time. Waiting patiently in line. Your answer was there all the time. Pharaoh said, "Go get him. And go get him now." God's about to send for you. Your dream is calling you. Pharaoh said, "Go get him. And go get him now." And they say, "Come on, come on. Come on, Joseph. He's calling for you. He's calling your name. Hush. Hush. Somebody's calling my name. Hush. Shh. Hush. Somebody's calling my name. Joseph! Jimo!
What's up?
Natalie!
Yeah.
Joshua!
What's up?
King is calling. The king is calling. The king is calling your name. King is calling. He wants to see you. You got something the king needs. You got something the king needs real, real bad. See, he can't do this without you. He's calling your name. Will you answer the call? It's time to go from the prison to the palace.
Yes, sir.
Joseph said, "I can't go like this. I can't go like this. Wait, hold up. I got to save myself." He had to clean himself up, y'all. You got to clean yourself up. The king is calling. Somebody said, "The king calling me."
King calling me.
King is calling me. I got to clean myself. You got to get yourself together, y'all. The king is calling you. And you can't just go before the king any kind of way. You got to come right when you're coming before royalty. You got to come right when you're coming before the highness. You got to come right. The king is royal, and you can't just come before him the way you look. Clean yourself up. Fix yourself up. Change your raiment. Joseph took off them old clothes. God is about to undress you and put you on robes of righteousness.
Yeah.
God's about to take off them filthy rags off of you. The world threw all kind of dirty stuff on you, but God's about to strip that stuff off, y'all. Hallelujah. He's about to put some fresh clothes on you. Clean yourself up. We about to go before the king.
Save yourself.
It's our time to shine, y'all.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
God said, "Come, ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest." if you just take my yoke upon you and learn of me, learn of me, learn of me. Somebody say, I got to learn.
Gotta learn.
I got to learn.
I got to learn.
He said, my yoke is easy and my burdens is light. You can be in a dungeon, but the dungeon don't have to be in you.
All right. Come on.
He'll make your burdens light. Even in the midst of the dungeon, Joseph was balling.